Hey everyone, it's been a week of a break. We took some time off, and we're busy. You're listening to Dudes with Brews on the Porch. My name is Drew. Co-host is Rob. We're both very busy. Today's going to be a little bit of a short one. We were maybe going to try to squeeze in an episode tonight. It's Tuesday, September the 10th, but I think I don't think that's going to happen. I am overwhelmed with a lot of things. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of additional things outside of work that I need to do. I'm very busy. And also, today would have been my dad's 62nd birthday. He is no longer with us. He died in January last year, so 2023. And, this is the day that this is the second time experiencing a birthday without my dad. It's not my birthday, but my dad's birthday without my dad. And it's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of... I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. It makes me reflect a lot, though, and it makes me think about him a lot. And I think I need to take the time today to remember my dad and to do some things that I need to get done. The grind doesn't stop. The jobs don't go on pause because I'm sad. Life doesn't stop because you're grieving. It's a weird process, and it's still a process even a year and a half later. All day I just thought about him. I dealt with some things at work and it was fine. Kept my mind off of it, but all day I've been thinking about him. What would he be doing? He would have been 62 today. That's pretty young. He died when he was 60, and it's unfortunate. He battled lung disease for like 13 years. His life expectancy at the most was 10 years, so he surpassed that. Which is great. He got an opportunity to see me get married. He saw me an opportunity for me to get divorced, get remarried, have my last kid. He's there for all my kids. It's just a weird thing. So I think I need to take the time today to make sure I get what I need to get done, as well as take some time to remember my dad and to honor my dad. We're going to drink some bourbon old fashioned. So if you don't know what that is, if you're not from Wisconsin, I think bars around the country have them, but they're nothing like that in Wisconsin. What you do essentially is you get some cherries, like maybe 2 cherries, maraschino cherries. You put them with an orange peel, a little slice of orange, put it at the bottom with some simple syrup and some bitters. You muddle it all together. So you crush all that stuff together. You throw some bourbon on the glass. And then you can either drink it just that way with some ice, or you can put some ice in it and then pour some either like 7-Up or what's that, like that, the sour version of it. What the hell is that called? Squirt? Is that what it is? I don't know. But in Wisconsin, they're a big thing, and they're a popular beverage. My dad was a big fan of the bourbon, as I am turning into. I recently this last weekend spent 4 hours at a bourbon bottle raffle. You got a free ticket for it. And then what happened was if they pulled your raffle, if they pulled your ticket, you just got the opportunity to buy one of the bottles that they had available. They had some hard to find stuff. So I stood in line and I stood at this thing for 4 hours. It was actually a lot of fun. They had food trucks. They had live music. It was kind of cool. It was an event. I didn't get anything. My friend did. His number got picked, and all the numbers around me got picked, but not my number. It is what it is. But yeah, so in a sense, I think I've turned to the bourbon a little bit more since his passing, because I still want to have some things in common with my dad. I think him and I both share the disappointment of not being involved in a lot of things with our friends. And I think we both take that personally, to a fault, actually, where it's not like, it's like people make plans with other people. They're allowed to have other friends. I don't have to be invited to every single thing. I know that, like, rationally, when you're thinking about it, and you're like, yeah, but in the moment it sucks, and you kind of take it personally, and then you're hard on yourself. And I think my dad was really hard on himself as well. I think he was hard on, a lot of things in his life. He was hard on himself. He lived a challenging life as well. He had very supportive parents. He had a loving family, but he had some demons that with his identity that he had to battle growing up. It was a different time back then. And I'm thankful to have known the version of my dad that left. that left the world because he accepted himself, he accepted his children, he accepted his grandchildren, and he was a good dude. Over my life, granted, he wasn't always present. He didn't come to a lot of my football games. He didn't come to a lot of my extracurricular stuff. But we still did extracurricular stuff. He owned a farm, so he enrolled me and my sister in 4-H. I hated it, but I think it's a good thing. I think it contributed a little bit to my work ethic. I think I'm a pretty hard worker, and I do things to get the job done. So I owe a lot of stuff to my dad. I owe my parenting style to my dad, because he wasn't necessarily around during my growing up. As far as he was there. I saw him every other weekend. In summers, I saw him more. He took us on vacations. We did those things. We did fun stuff with him. So I don't want to take this as an opportunity to just shit on him or anything. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to really reflect on everything. But because of those things, because of the things he missed that I wish he would have been a part of, I make sure that I am a part of those things for my kids. I go to 99% of my kids' sporting events. Sometimes I just can't. Sometimes it just isn't in the works. It's too far away. I have to work later or something. That stuff happens. So I owe both my parents my parenting style because of them, for the things that they've done for me growing up and the things that they didn't do for me growing up. And it's a wild thing when you have a parent that dies. When one of the last times I saw him was he was dead on his bed. It's a weird thing. And that image just pops up every once in a while, and you just want to know what were those final moments like? He was up in the morning. He got up that morning. He was getting ready for breakfast, and then all of a sudden he was gone. He had been put on a hospice, in-home hospice the day before, not even 12 hours before, and he was gone the next day, which is unfortunate. I saw him on New Year's Day, 2023. That was the last time I saw him. We watched a Packer game, and it was great. It was a good time, but at the same time, I knew it was coming to an end. I watched him fall asleep, and just him struggling to breathe while he's sleeping it just messes you up. So, days like this is tough. I put on the Packer jersey that my wife got me. It's got his birth year on it, got our last name on it on the jersey. I put it on for the first Packer game of the season and just bawled, cried in my hallway out of nowhere. I was perfectly fine until that moment, and then I looked at it and just lost it. And it sucks, man. It sucks. So I think mentally I just need to keep grinding. And I know that that's such a stupid phrase, grinding. But I got stuff to take care of. I got kids to take care of. I got myself to take care of. I got some work to do. So I just think this week we're going to take a little bit of a breather. So that's why you're getting what you're hearing now. It's a short version of the show. It's a real version. It's a real version of me. I think a lot of times you get a character that is me on the podcast. I think you get a character that is Rob as well. But we're both very it's all rooted in who we are as people. The characters are, but yeah, I will hopefully get some time to drink an old fashioned, get some work done, and put my kids to sleep, and hope we wake up tomorrow and get to do it again. And I need to be better about thinking like that, because normally it's I have to do this, I have to do this. No, I get to do it, because not everybody makes it to 60 or older. Not everybody makes it to 62, and most people do, but unfortunately for my dad, he didn't, and it sucks. It really sucks. So if you have an opportunity to call someone you care about, tell them you love them, please do. Especially if your parents are still there. Even if they were crappy, I don't know. Maybe not if they're crappy, but try to give them a call if you can. All right. So take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. I got a phone call, so that's why I put it on pause. It was some automated thing. But yeah, if you still have people that are around and you care about them, and tell them you love them. That's one thing I still struggle to tell my parents that I love them. I don't know why. Like, what's the big deal? I tell my kids I love them nonstop. And I do love my parents. I love my dad. I love my mom. I don't say it that often to them. And I never did growing up. My mom always said she loved me. My dad would tell me sometimes, but not too often. I don't know if it was just like a masculine thing that from back in the day, he grew up in the 60s and 70s. Times were different, and you didn't necessarily say those things to your dad, and your dad didn't say those to you either. But I know my dad was proud of me. He saw me graduate college twice with a bachelor's and a master's, and he was grateful about that. So do the little things for your dad, for your mom, for whoever you care about, because I didn't want to walk across the stage to get my master's degree. I couldn't wait to be done with it. I honestly I could not have cared less about it, but it was important to my dad that he saw me do that. So I did it. And, I don't know, if you got some bourbon handy, take a drink of it for me, please. And for my dad and for anyone you care about. So, hey, take care of yourself and each other. That's what Jerry Springer used to always say at the end of his episodes. He's dead too. So we'll see you next week.